Good morning, everybody. How are you? The reason of this video is to show you my greenhouse. This greenhouse you're looking, we built it with a low budget. It can be really good for all the people that wants to get their own food. This project personally I made it for my grandmother, so she can all have all the resources for cooking. In Mexico, it's a tradition that our grandmothers cook always. I'm gonna show you how our greenhouse is going. I'm gonna explain you since the start how this idea began and all the quantities and the prices. I'm gonna manage all the quantities in dollars, but based in Mexican prices. I'm gonna show you each plant that we have here in our greenhouse. Here, this one is a manzano pepper plant. All the plants that you're gonna look down here were planted in early July. We are now in November. This one is a manzano pepper plant. This one is a cherry tomato plant. As you can see, it's gonna have some fruits already. There has one already, as you can see. And this plant really surprised me. It's gonna be really productive. As you can see, there are many flowers growing down there in the background also. In this side we can see that some flowers are coming also, and on this side also there are coming up some flowers. So if we have a good pollination, we're gonna get like 15 cherry tomato fruits. If we go down here in the side, this is a jalapeno pepper plant. This is a really productive plant. As you can see, it has many flowers and the pollination is not that really hard. Despite the greenhouse has only one entrance, we have a really good pollination. We have many peppers already growing, like this one that is really growing really good. These are only 5 jalapeno pepper plants. On this side, we have a serrano pepper plant. As you can see, the serrano pepper plant was planted also on early July, and we are now in November. There's a problem down here in this plant. I haven't got any of serrano pepper yet. I don't know if there's a problem, if it needs a fertilizer. I'm gonna tell you that I'm not a garden expert, but with my few knowledge I have good results, as you can see. Down here we have a Pekin pepper plant. This one I bought it, and as you can see, this one is really productive plant. It has many Pekin pepper. All the fruits begin in a black color, then it passes to a green color, and they finish on a red color. In that phase, they are ready to be eaten. On this side, we have an aromatic plant. It's called the big basil. As you can see, this plant does not need a really big flower pot. We have various plants down here. In total there are 4 plants, and as you can see, it has lived very well. This plant is an aromatic plant that is used for cooking, for some soups. It's really good to plant, really easy to plant. It delays a little at the beginning, but once it takes some energy, it grows pretty well. Down here we have, I believe, these are various plants of tomatoes. I believe this is cherry tomato also. Yeah, because I planted many. I planted cherry, salad, and beef tomato. This one is a really big flower pot, as you can see, because tomatoes needs a lot of uh, space for the roots. I planted many down here, as you can see. Let's see their behavior and their growing. This plant doesn't have more than a month and a half of growing. You can see they grow really fast. Now down here we have other variety of tomatoes. This one are salad tomatoes. I had to place down there, as you can see, a support. That wood are chopsticks. Chopsticks that they give you in Chinese food. Those chopsticks I'm using them as support. And some wire to handle the chopsticks and the plant. So the plant doesn't go down and touch the soil. The ideal thing is that to all class of tomatoes you need a support. I really like to use chopsticks, for example. Besides some fruit plants, we have flowers also in this little flower pot. These are going to be flowers. They are called red wishes. That's the name of the flower. It's a really pretty flower. It can be used to decorate or as a gift. On this other side we have another tomato. This one is called the beef tomato. As you can see, beef tomato is really tall and it has a really thick stem. You can touch it and it's a really thick stem. For the same thing to resist the weight of the fruits that are really big. This doesn't has any flowers, but as you can see, it is trying to give me up some flowers actually. Down here we have other seeds that are growing. I planted many various variety of plants, but you need to know that to reach the objective of a greenhouse, not all the plants are going to grow correctly. So take it so you can learn. We need to learn that all the plants are not going to grow correctly. Now down here we have a variety of peppers. We have also jalapeno and serrano pepper plants. This one doesn't have more than 1 month and a half, and they are taking form also. I placed many in a really big flower pot because the peppers are not with really big roots. Down here we have also various pots. These pots are biodegradable pots, and I really like them because when the plants grow, you don't have to harm the roots or the plant. You only have to place the pot down there. There's no need in harming the roots. These biodegradable pots are really incredible. Down here we have other biodegradable pot. We have a pair of basil plants and a tomato. So we're gonna have to separate these varieties so we have not a problem at all. Down here we have our cilantro. The cilantro has a really fragile stem, so it's a really problem, and it really attracts many plague. Some little insects that look like spiders. So the plagues that the cilantro attracts are really bothering me. It's really fragile plant. Now down here we have our worm seed plant. This plant also at the beginning is really fragile because of its stem. because but once it takes up some force, it's a really good plant. Look at the stem. It went outside of the flower pot, but it has no problem at all because it is not touching the floor. As you can see, it is growing up some seeds already. That seeds are the ones that give the plant its aroma, just as the basil. Now down here we have more biodegradable pots. They are growing really good. I'm gonna tell you all the various plants that I have down here later. For example, these tall ones, as you can see, they are called asparagus. These ones are beef tomato. They are growing really good also. And some sweet peppers down there, and other aromatic plants like the dill. But as you can see, these plants are growing for like 3 weeks. They are going really good to the month. The majority of these plants are growing really good. On this other section, these biodegradable pots, I planted down here up some green tomato plants, because in the Mexican gastronomy, they are really used for some cooking. This one have like 2 or 3 weeks also. I'm gonna tell you how I got all this structure. As you can see, they are only tubes and up some plastic. It's a special plastic to maintain the warmth inside and this door. You can construct this greenhouse, and it's a really low budget greenhouse, or you can buy it already constructed. I found this. I will show the brand. It's the Ogro brand. It's a really good and really cheap greenhouse, and more or less $100. If you want to know more about the structure on this greenhouse, I can pass you the link in the comments. I'm gonna tell you approximately the cost of each thing, so you can have an idea of how many money do you need to get something similar as this greenhouse. This is my house, and I made this for my grandmother so she can have the resources for cooking. The first thing we're gonna need are the soil bags. These soil bags, do not buy them in the supermarket, they are really expensive. There are many specialized places like nursery gardens. This soil bag, it is of 20 kilograms. It's a prepared soil, many organic things, so the plants get a good nutrition. This soil bag of 20 kilograms cost me like $3. Now, these flower pots that are really big, they cost me $1.5. As you can see, there are many flower pots down here, ready when these little plants keep growing. The medium flower pots, they cost $1. All the pots and all the tools for gardening, you can actually buy all of this in the supermarket. For example, I bought all this material. I bought it in Walmart supermarket in the gardening section. Each tool of this does not cost more than $2. They are really good tools. Also, you can find up some fertilizers. I'm using this fertilizer. It's really economic and it has not affected me or my plants at all. They are growing faster with this fertilizer and it only costs $1.5. It's a really powerful fertilizer. You have to be careful not to place many fertilizer in your plants. Well, these scissors are from my house. I use it a lot. And this thread, as you can see, we are planting many tomato plants that need some support. So this thread is going to make the work. As you can see, the tomato stem is really fragile. So you gotta need some support. You can use this this stick. I found this wood stick. I attached it into the soil and I use it as a support with the thread. And it is really useful because all the stem is going and making using the wood support. This thread is for whip, the common one used for whip. So if you have one, you can actually use it. You can use it to give more support to your plants. For example, down here, as you can see, all the thread. So this stem doesn't go down because it is a lot of weight to support this fragile stem. Well, this is, I already told you the cost. So, summarizing, the big flower pots, $2, the medium pots, $1. I have many already. The soil bag, $2.5. All the other tools, you can get it from your house. You can use bottles, the thread, the scissors, materials you can find in your house. Now I'm gonna tell you all the varieties I'm planting down here in my greenhouse. These seeds I got them also from the supermarket in the gardening section. So it is not necessary for you to take the seeds from your fruits. Sometimes they grow, sometimes they don't. So I recommend you to buy these packages with seeds. They are guaranteed to grow. You can see the brand, they sell them in the supermarket. For example, the jalapeno pepper plant, the saladette tomato plant. We have down here the sweet pepper plant, California Wonder, other type of sweet pepper, cayenne. Here is the red wish, the flower I told you. It's a really pretty big plant. Of these brands, there are only those. Other brands, for example, here is of some spinach. This is a poblano pepper plant, asparagus, the worm seed, a tomillo plant, more asparagus. Eneldo is the dill aromatic plant, the green tomato, more jalapeno pepper, and beef tomato plant. You can get all these seeds in the supermarket. Well, we are almost finished. I remember you that if you want the link from the greenhouse, I'm gonna please comment down here. It's really easy to construct. You can buy it already constructed. I really like this brand. Or well, you can go to any store like Home Depot, where you can find all home things, and you can buy PVC pipes, just as these tubes. These pipes are made from aluminum. They are a little more strong. But the PVC pipes are really cheap. You can consider buy them with some unions, so you can make an sketch and build your own greenhouse. So your greenhouse can fit in your house with no problem. I'm gonna tell you the dimensions of this greenhouse. They are 1.7 meters long, 1.7 meters width, and almost 2 meters height. It is not that big and it has a lot of space. You can actually plant whatever you want. It is very important the height because, for example, if you want to plant tall plants like tomatoes, it is necessary to give them a little more space tall. Or you can place them in the floor so they can grow to the height of your greenhouse. But as I say you, all the materials you can get them in stores like Home Depot, PVC pipes with their unions, and the plastic you can also buy it in the same store. More or less $100 is gonna be your investment. So take this as a real investment because you're gonna get all your money back in some time with your production. I have seen that many guys that have their greenhouse use many fertilizers, but I don't really use that much. So you can only buy some tools, some soil bags, and your flower pots, and you're ready to go. The fertilizer is not that necessary. Well, goodbye, I'm Diego, and you can send me any question. I have no problem. If you want to know all the progress of my greenhouse and all these plants, how they are growing, you can ask me for another video. I'm gonna upload another video in 2 or 3 months, so you can see how they are growing. Thanks a lot, guys, and have a nice day.